Alright everybody, welcome back to another video, and this video is one of the most important videos throughout this whole series. So this is the part 1, and then the next video will be part 2 of the sessions strategy, the main strategy that I am trading and you will be trading, and all of the previous students been also learning and successfully trading as well. So as I mentioned, this is a part 1 where I will be explaining the fundamentals and the very basics of the actual strategy, on what kind of elements the strategy is based. And then on a part 2, I will be going in detail on the actual charts, explaining to you how to set up the charts, how to apply all of the rules, the management, etc., etc. And then moving forward, we will be going through all of the examples, backtesting, and previous results of the session strategy. Okay, so let's jump straight into it without wasting any time on information that is not useful. Okay, so the session strategy is based on 3 key elements: chart work, where you are actually finding the optimal position to enter by applying the strategy rules. Then you have execution, when you have to execute and enter into a position and set your limit orders for your profits and loss, also known as take profit and stop loss orders. And number 3 is management, where you have to manage the position according to the strategy rules. So now let's go deeper into all of those 3 elements, and let me explain what do I mean by saying chart work, execution, and management. So chart work, I want to give you the very key and I would say specific rules that you have to follow and apply, because what I noticed over my years of experience, especially when I started to trade, to look into the whole thing of investments and trading, I noticed after buying endless courses, after watching endless YouTube videos, etc., that most of the courses they will teach you how to analyze the market, how to perform either technical or fundamental analysis. But then at the very end, they will say thank you for watching, and you will be on your own. And when you open a blank chart, you may actually apply all of the knowledge. You may mark those support or resistance lines, different indicators, trend line, Fibonacci's, etc. But you don't actually know what to look for and when is the actual right time to execute into a position. You have all of this knowledge of technical analysis, but you don't have a certain set of rules that you have to go through to actually enter into a position. This is why the session strategy is so beautiful and is working so nicely, because it's developed and based on a certain set of rules that are simple to understand, and it does not require any kind of support resistant lines, certain zones, etc. It's a very simple method based on the sessions of the Forex market. So this is why everyone is able to see the same position at the same time, because the problem with support and resistance based strategies or trend line based strategies, different people will see different areas of support and resistance, and then you will have this endless war where one says this is the support, but you may see support slightly higher or slightly lower, and you will say no, this is the support, and this is the biggest problem. Yeah, so none of that will happen when you trade a session strategy. Okay, so let me go through these basics very quickly, and then we jump on a part 2 where we actually deep dive into the charts and examples. So the time frame. You will be trading on a 15 minutes time frame only, M15. Simple as that. You will never visit any different time frames like hourly, 4 hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, whatever. No, only 15 minutes. This will be the time frame where we will set our a trading template, and that's the only time frame that you will be trading on. Okay, the indicators that you will need to have on your chart, and I will show you how to add them, how to use them and set them in the part 2. You will need a sessions indicator, which is not exactly an indicator, but it simply divides the chart into a few color waves where each color represents a certain session. So let's say a gray part of the chart will be the Asian session, the yellow one will be the London session, and let's say a green one will be the US session. Okay, so it's just for easier understanding which session is which. Okay, now the trading time, this is very important. You will be only trading from the very beginning of the London session till the very first candlestick of the US session opening. And what do I mean by that is the hunt window where you are looking for a trade is from the very first candlestick of the London session till the very first candlestick of the US session opening. Okay, this time window is where you are actually able to look for positions if you don't have any positions open. Yeah, so this is the window where you are actually sitting and following each 15-minute candlestick and trying to see and find a position to enter. Okay, however, if you do have an open position, then you are able to keep the position open till the very end of the US session, but you will never keep the position overnight or longer than the US session closure. Okay, so if you do have an open position running still, by the end of the US session, you will have to manually close it, no matter whether it's in a profit or loss or a small profit, small loss, break even, doesn't matter. You close the position manually. But from my experience, most of the times, I would say 8 out of 10 trades will be closed automatically, either by your take profit or stop loss orders within this time window from the London session till the end of US session. Okay, but sometimes it may happen that the market is super slow or consolidative and moving sideways, and by the end of US session you still have an open position. No problem, just manually close it. Okay, and the key element of this whole session strategy is the Asian session, and most importantly the Asian session highest point and the lowest point. Okay, simple as that. And don't worry, I will go way deeper into explaining everything and showing you endless examples on the actual positions and trades from the previous performance. Next, execution. You have 4 possible ways to execute into the market. Okay, you have Asian high rejection, Asian low rejection, Asian high break and retest, or Asian low break and retest. These 4 elements are pretty much the only thing that is on this whole strategy. So I will go through the very basics now, but as I mentioned, on the next video and videos after, I will be going in an extreme detail, showing you a lot of different positions that I took previously, explaining you each and every case or on how to actually execute. Okay, but it's very simple. Asian high rejection is basically where you retest, where you see that the market after the London session is opened. Okay, if the market retested the Asian high, the highest point of the Asian session, if it retested the highs, if it rejected the highs, and if it closed below both of the EMAs with a body closure. Then you have Asian low rejection, where you retested the lows, rejected the lows, and closed above both of the EMAs. Okay? Then you have Asian high break retest, where the high is broken and retested. Then a continuation candlestick appeared and the market closed above both of the EMAs with a nice body closure. And the Asian low break retest, where the low is broken and retested, then you see a continuation candle and close below both of the EMAs with a body closure. And then you have management. The management rules are very simple. Risk per trade, 1%. Always. You will always risk 1% per trade of your whole capital. Your risk to reward ratio will be always 3 to 1, which means that you are risking 1% to make 3%. Okay? I will show you how to add all of those. Don't worry about that. Then the actual trade management is the following. The stop loss will be placed to break even once the position achieves the halfway till target. Once again, I will show you all of the examples, don't worry. You will never keep the position open overnight because you have to close everything at the end of the US session. This applies only if you still have an open position running. And the account management, once again, stop trading after 2 successful trades per week, maximum 2 trades per day, and withdraw all of your profits each Friday so you can start each week fresh with the same capital. I will have an actual account management video as a separate one where I go in detail explaining you all of these rules, but just for your very first understanding of what I mean, I just mentioned them here as well. So that's pretty much everything there is to know about the very basics of the session strategy. And next part will be charts and trades, where we will go deep into the charts, setting up the chart, making the templates, and actually starting to understand how to set the session highs and lows and how to look and find those retests and rejections. Okay, so guys, thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and now let's move on to the more exciting stuff, the actual charts.